Hello everyone, my name is Hussein and today we will present a comparison between containerization and the virtual machines. Our focus in these topics will be on the architectural differences between them and how these differences affect the security and the performance. This work is prepared by our team Hussein Mustafa and Mohammed Ibrahim Oglu and Afan Yahya. First of all, why these topics matter? This topic matters because almost every modern application today runs inside an isolated environment, either using the virtual machines or the containers. Both technologies provide isolation, but they achieve it in different ways. Understanding these differences is important because it affects the security, performance, and how we choose the right environment for our applications. Now I'm going to explain the virtual machines. What is it? A virtual machine is basically a complete operating system running inside a physical host. It has its own kernel, libraries, and applications, completely separated from the host system. The virtual machines are managed by software called a hypervisor, like the virtual machineware or hypervisual, which runs on the hardware and creates isolated environment because each virtual machine contains a full operating system. It provides very strong isolation, but it also requires more CPU and RAM, and also it takes much longer time to start. Now let's see how the architecture is different from containers. My friend Mohammed will continue.
Architectural difference. Virtual machine virtualize the hardware layer. The hypervisor sits between the hardware and operating system. And each virtual machine have its own guest operating system and its own kernel. Containers. Containers work on the operating system layer. They share the host operating system kernel, and each container is just isolated process with its own file system and with its own dependencies. This is the reason why containers are faster and lighter, while virtual machine is heavier but more isolated. The container shares the host operating system kernel and only includes the application and its dependencies. Isolation in containers achieved using Linux namespace and C groups, which separate process and control their access to resources. The design makes containers very lightweight and very fast to start compared to virtual machines. Because containers include only the necessary files and dependencies, we can run many containers on the same machine and easily move them between different environments. So, virtual machine provides strong isolation because every virtual machine has its own kernel and its own operating system, as we said before. If one virtual machine is compromised, the attacker would still need to break out the, the guest system to reach the hypervisor, which is possible but difficult. Containers share the host kernel, which create a different attack surface. A kernel-level vulnerability can potentially affect all containers running on the same host. However, containers are unsafe, however, containers are not unsafe by default. There are some tools like Linux and AppArmor for security boundaries and image scanning, prevent vulnerable image, and Kubernetes RBAC control access to resources. With, with the proper with the With proper configuration, containers can be sourced for many production environments. And let's complete with my friend Afan Adnan.
Continue or present. As they said, my friend Muhammad Abdullah and Hussein, and performance containers are much faster because they don't need to boot a full operating system. A virtual machine might take several seconds or minutes to start, while containers usually start in millimeters. Uh, since um, since containers share the host OS kernel, the concern for recurrency, low CPU and RAM, and allow much higher density of work lands and same hardware. This make containers idle for microservices and call native application where speed and stability are important. Um, visual machine are better choose when we need strong isolation, especially when in environment with the an environment with the sensitive data or struct applications roles. They are also required when we want to run multiple different operating systems on one service, um, or when deadline with the largest application that are not designed for the containers. Containers are the best choice for the modern current the application. They allowed for fast deployment and continuous integration, and they scale also easily when we need to run many small service. Uh, in conclusion, a virtual machine give us virtual machine and containers are different tools with the different struggles. A virtual machine give us a strong isolation and support running multiple operating system. Containers give us spend predictably and special for the modern application. The individual winner. The best choice depends on the system requirements, security needs, and the types of application we want to run. Thank you.